Let's talk about why I will not be continuing this book series. I used to love this book series, but I have my list of reasons as to why I will not be reading her newest books and the later on books that she'll release with this collection. So I wrote them down and we're going to talk about it because it actually saddens me deeply. Okay, so we're going to start with book one, which I will put a little picture here for you. It is the beginning of the Lightlark series, which is a fantasy series, and I will read you the back of this book. So the description says every 100 years, the island of Lightlark appears for only 100 days to host a deadly game where the rulers of 6 realms fight to break their curses and win unparalleled power. Each ruler has something to hide, each curse is uniquely wicked. To break them and save themselves and their realms, one ruler must die. To survive, Isla Crown must lie, cheat, betray, even as love complicates everything. So, right off the bat, I actually love the book. I genuinely love the first book, and I have my reasons why. First of all, I loved the whole idea of the games and the fighting people and fighting for your crown, fighting for your realm. Like I loved that. I loved the powers, I loved the characters, I loved everything about that first book. I also loved Grimm, which is one of the main love interests for her. Do not like Oro, never will like Oro, never did like Oro actually. Like the senses of the book, like I said, like the whole fighting and lying and betraying, like that was just that's so vibes to me when it comes to like a fantasy book. Like I feel like that's needed for a fantasy series. This was the first one. It sold it for me. I bought the second book as soon as it came out. Literally immediately I was like, give this to me. Also keep in mind this was the first fantasy series for me to actually ever read. And besides the grammatical errors and whatnot, because there were a few, I genuinely loved the first book. And I will give it its rating of I loved it. I genuinely did. But then we go to the second book. We'll put another picture for the second book. I loved it to a certain point. I feel like halfway through the book, we kind of lost me. I wasn't really vibing with it. I was kind of really like pissed at her character in certain like aspects, which I'm normally pissed at most characters. Like if they just do something stupid, yes, I'm gonna be pissed at you. But then usually they redeem themselves. Unfortunately, she did not redeem herself, and we're gonna talk about that later. Started losing me, genuinely. I was just kind of confused. I was like, okay, I understand where we're going, but do we really need to go in this direction? I also feel like she was pushing the love triangle too much between Isla, Oro, and Grimm. I feel like that love triangle between the three of them is like you're this is the only purpose of this book now, instead of them being like powerful and noble people. Like you're just making them, to me it genuinely felt like Isla from the first book, who was this like powerful person fighting for her people, fighting for herself, fighting for her truth, just became like this lovesick puppy of who loves me, who loves me, who doesn't, trying to pick between the two. I was just like, this is like, you're kind of losing me here, because I'm here for the fighting, I'm here for the dueling, I'm here for the powers, I'm here for the learning about your powers, learning about yourself, trying to redeem your kingdom, trying to like show the people that you care about them. Like that's what I'm here for. That's not what she was there for, clearly. Okay, moving on. Another thing I liked with the second book were Grimm moments. I loved Grimm as a character. He's like literally so misunderstood. Like he's so precious. He's so precious and he's so misunderstood. And I genuinely liked him as a character and how he treated her. I will also talk about this. Her love between her and Oro is more of he loves her for who he wants her to be and who he expects her to be, but Grimm loves her for who she is. Like you see like the difference. Like Oro wants her to be like he wants to shape her into this person that she genuinely is not. Meanwhile, Grimm is like accepting her for who she is, which I saw in the first book and I started seeing it in the second book. It makes me bothered that I'm this bothered by the book, but it's just like I don't understand where this went so wrong. She just also pissed me off because you have a man who loves you no matter what and accepts you for all your ugly truths and all that, and the other one is dipping you for literally no reason. Like his reasons for not wanting to be with her are literally like this. Like they're tiny. Like it's just it's not no, I don't like his character. I think he's cool like as a brother, maybe like a, like that brotherly best friend, but as a husband I'm not vibing. I'm genuinely not vibing. I was just like, oh, okay. And then there was moments where she was like, this power, it feels like power. Are we for real? I thought we learned from the first book grammatical error wise. Like, I'm confused. This power, it feels like power. I taste it. Okay. Okay, buddy. Like, actually, like, just what? I this is where they started losing me, genuinely. Okay, now we move on to the third book of the series. This book pissed me off on a whole different level. I can't even understand. Like, I know I say that a lot, but genuinely, this book like irritated every inch of my skin. Every time I felt like I was reading it, I was on fire, and not in the good way. I was just so pissed. It was just like we lost the plot. At this point, genuinely, we lost the plot. I don't understand where we're going with this. I don't understand why we're still in the same. Where am I going? Who am I choosing? Like, I thought we left that in the. There's a stupid fly in my room. I thought we left that in the second book. I thought we figured that out. I thought we left that in the second book. I was just like, genuinely pissed me off. I had to force myself to finish this book. Genuinely had to force me. Like, it took me so long to finish the book. So the first two books, which are about like 400 pages, a little over 400 each, finished these within less than 3 days, which is pretty average for me. It doesn't take me that long to finish books. Sometimes it takes a little longer if I'm just a little busy, like 4 days. But usually less than a day. I finished the book in a day. These took me less than 3 days. I loved it. I kind of forced myself through this one, but I still loved it. I still got through it. This book, Sky Shade, the third book, it took me 2 weeks to finish this because I could not get through it. For the life of me, I could not get through this freaking book. I could not understand why we're still in the same spot that we were in the second book. It didn't make any sense. Again, I wrote it right here. Barely finished it. Genuinely. Forced myself. Like, it's like genuinely pissing me off having to recall me reading this book. Anyways, moving on. It got to the point where it was like, where are we going from here? I don't understand where we are going from here. Another point I have, zero, and I mean zero character development for the main freaking character. If we are in book 3 now and you're still the same annoying girl from the first book, we genuinely have problems because I don't understand how she is still the same annoying person of where am I going, who am I choosing by the third book. Like, it like it makes me mad because it's like, dude, zero character development. She's still annoying, she's still bratty, she's still like, I don't even know who you are. Like, literally, like, you're just, ew, I'm icked. That pissed me off. Zero character development. I also feel like it was dragged way too long. Like, this whole like triangle love thing and her still trying to figure out who she is. Babes, I figured this out. It's literally just the whole like, why am I figuring out who you are before you figure out who you are? Like, that's not computing in my brain. How there's zero character development. You're still annoying, you're still ready, you're still ill. Not to mention, you still can't figure out who the hell you want. Like, let's focus on ourselves. I'm frustrated. Like, let's focus on ourselves at this point because you trying to go back and forth ain't doing nothing for nobody. It's actually causing more issues than solving any issues. Like, I just don't understand how we got to this point. Like, that I was just so irritated. But again, Grimm had amazing moments. Love him still. He had fantastic moments. I was like, oh, you're so cute. Like, you literally love her so much. And meanwhile, she can't even tell left from right. Like, it just pissed me off. Yeah. I feel like the series does not have to be drag this. Like, the idea of pushing the love triangle, her discovering who she is being dragged way too long. I feel like we could have figured this out book 2. Book 3 should have been a whole different conversation. It should not have been book 2 plus some. Like, that's just like, no. No. So I will not be reading the Grimm and Oro book. As much as I love Grimm, I will not be reading it just because I just can't sit there and read this other book knowing that I hated the last book. Like, that just doesn't feel right. Like, why would I spend my hard-earned money on a book I'm not even gonna like? I already know I'm not gonna like. I also will not be reading any of the other possible books she will be reading for the series because I'm genuinely upset that I own all 3 books and I own a special edition of the first book because I genuinely love the first book, like I said, but I cannot stand the idea of the series now. Like, genuinely can't understand it. And it breaks my heart but you know, it is what it is, I guess. Another point I have not mentioned, I feel like because this first book was advertised as a YA book, which is a young adult book for those who don't know. Second book, I was kind of like, it's not so much YA anymore, but it's passable. You know, like there was a few scenes where I was like, "Oh, that's not really like it's a little too much for what this series is supposed to be and the audience that it's supposed to be targeting." And then this book, I was like, "Where the hell are we? Genuinely, where are we and what are we talking about?" Because I thought I picked up a young adult book, not an adult book. Compared to other books, she wasn't very descriptive about what they were doing, but it was descriptive enough that I was uncomfortable for the series because of the target audience. Like what the target audience I know what the target audience is supposed to be. So the way that she was describing these scenes between the two, I was like, yeah, let's maybe not. Like let's actually maybe not because then this doesn't qualify as a young adult book at this point. This is just like spicy level 1 basically. Like I just no, I wasn't vibing with the fact that she kind of changed into like making it more sexual. Like I said, I loved the series in the first book because it was so like wow, like you're this amazing, powerful person. You have these morals, you have your goals, you have the purpose. Like you have this purpose for your people, for yourself. Now you're just getting freaky and talking about it. Like mind you, you're still trying to choose between the same two dudes. Like I'm just like her and Oral deserve each other basically at this point because she is like two timing. She's two timing. She's confused, and her reasons for not wanting Grim are so like, okay, get over it. Get over it, like please, because you're pissing me off. And Oral's reasons for not wanting to be with her, get over it. You guys deserve each other at this point. Because leave my man Grim alone. Let him be in peace, and not having to deal with you two because y'all just ruining it for him. Like, and you're ruining it for me. Like I'm here for him. I'm here for him. If you follow my book Instagram, you know that I'm a grim girly through and through. I am a grim girly. Guys, okay, that's enough cringe. Just cringed myself out there a little bit. Moving on, now that we've talked about the Light Lark series, why I will not be continuing it, we can talk about a different series that I will be continuing. So exciting. This is the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. I read the first book. Freaking love the first book. Love this so much, actually. Actually love this book so much. I'm going to read these two books this week into next week so that when I film the video for next Wednesday's book talk, we're going to talk about these two books because I love the first book, got the second book, the third book. So I'm going to read the series. I'm going to finish the series completely so that I can talk about it. We're going to review it, discuss it, my favorite parts, my favorite characters, all that. And then if I do end up liking the series itself, I will read the separate book by the same author that's like supposed to connect with this. So I've heard it is called Car Carnival, something like that. Carnival. I have the book. Haven't read it, obviously. This is what we will be discussing next week. So stay tuned for that. I'm actually really, really excited because I really like the first book, so I have high hopes. Okay, well, that's it for my rant on books I love and don't love, apparently. And yeah, if you have any books that you want me to review, please tell me because I will. I have a Kindle, I have the Kindle subscription, and I have a lot of books in my bookshelf that I haven't even read yet. So if you guys want me to read one from that or you want me to read one online, I will read it. I will review it for you because it gives me an excuse to try something new. But yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching if you did. And I guess subscribe for more, guys. Okay, bye.